Have you ever went to apply for a job and the list of requirements looks like this, but your resume looks like this? Yeah, me too. Well, today I'm going to teach you how you can still get that job or that internship with little to no experience. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and if you are new here, I am a full-time marketing and communications specialist working in the 9-to-5 corporate world. So we've all been there, we've all seen that long list of requirements when you're going to apply for a job or an internship and they want you to have everything, but you're like, I just graduated college or I'm still in college and I barely have any experience. It's kind of this endless cycle of how do I get experience without having any experience. Tip number one is to build your portfolio, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, Jessica, how am I supposed to build my portfolio if I have no experience? If you're watching this and you're in the marketing and communication space, we have this very cool thing that we can do called freelancing, and if you don't know what that is, basically it's where you can go and do things on your own, like almost as a small business. I wanted to be a wedding videographer for a while, so I would just go and ask people if I could film their weddings. You can do that with social media management, with graphic design, with campaign management, photography, videography. There are so many things within the marketing and communications world that you can do freelancing in. And the extra cool thing about freelancing is you can actually make some extra money from it if you want to look into doing that. It takes a little bit more work, but I would say it's worth it. These are great ways to build your portfolio and build up that experiences tab on your resume. Speaking of portfolio, if you don't want to be a freelancer, you can also use class projects in your portfolio. I'm going to make a whole nother video on portfolios and how to actually develop them, so make sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about that. But you can use things like class projects or even personal projects in your portfolio to build your resume. But if you still don't want to freelance and you really don't have any class projects that you can use in your portfolio, I have one more thing that you can do to build your portfolio, and that is to just get creative. You can literally make up a marketing campaign or go take some pictures or make some graphic designs, whatever you need to do. You can make those on your own and use those to build up your portfolio. And if anyone asks, did you work for this company or did you have some sort of internship here, you can just let them know, no, you were just practicing on your own time, and that's something in itself that will really stand out to recruiters. Tip number two on how to get a job or internship with little to no experience would be taking online courses. You're probably like, Jessica, are you serious? I'm literally in college. Why would I take more courses? There are a lot of things outside of college that you can learn, such as Google Analytics or Google AdWords. There's so many different Adobe things that you can get certified in, and these are things that will really build up your resume and make you stand out. Or if you just want to learn a new skill like color grading in videography or whatever the skill is, you can add those specific skills to your resume. Doing simple courses and certifications like this will really, again, make you stand out and set you apart even though you haven't had other prior work experience. Tip number three is to make your resume stand out. Again, I'm going to make a whole nother video about resumes, but I think the key thing here is really tailoring it to the company and the job that you're applying for. I've even seen people recently making it like a theme about the company. I think there was a girl on TikTok who made her resume for TikTok be all TikTok theme. A girl for Spotify did the same thing. So really try to tailor your resume for that company and for the position too. If you're going to be a creative director, you don't want your resume just to be a simple Word document. You want to show your creativity in that resume. Tip number four is to do your research. And I know that sounds really simple and really basic, but honestly, if you show up to an interview and you can say that you've truly done your research about a company, you know their values, you know the recent campaigns that they've worked on, you know their big projects and their big accomplishments, you're going to have a way better chance of actually getting the job rather than someone who didn't do any research. They barely know the company, but they have a million experiences and things like on their resume, I can assure you that you're going to have a better chance of getting hired if you actually put in the time and dedication and show that you truly care about that company. I remember when I was trying to apply to internships, I would always go on the company's website and check out their main company values and any recent campaigns that they have done. And I would always bring these up in my interviews. I would bring questions about them and I would say I was really interested in this recent campaign you did. Can you tell me how that idea came about? Or just anything like that that shows that you really know what's going on with the company. Tip number 5 is to apply anyway. I know we get super overwhelmed and discouraged when we see that long list of requirements and things you're supposed to have to apply to this job or internship, but I'm telling you, if you don't check all of those boxes, it's okay, and just apply anyway. I know that seems super intimidating, but I really don't think a recruiter is looking for someone, especially in an internship or an entry-level job, to really check all of those boxes. They can't really expect one person to check all of those boxes, so know that it's okay if you don't perfectly align with all of those things. And honestly, you might even make some more connections if you show up to the interview and they're like, maybe you're not really the right candidate for this position. They might have another position for you, or they might know another company or another person that still would be interested in hiring you. I will say, if you just graduated college and you see a director of marketing, 10 plus years of experience, maybe that's a little bit far-fetched and I wouldn't necessarily go for that one. But if it's an entry-level job or an internship and you're oh, I only meet 75% of these things, just apply anyway. There's really no bad outcome. And the final tip I have for you is kind of cliche, but honestly it's so true, and that is just that confidence is key. When you're showing up to an interview, make sure you're able to speak to absolutely anything that you've done in the past. And I know we're talking about having no experience, but again, that's okay. You can still speak to any sort of college classes you've taken, even high school classes. You can talk about volunteer work, of course, freelancing, and honestly, just the qualities that you have as a human being. If you're someone that's super creative, or you're someone that is super good with a certain skill that they're looking for, make sure you're able to speak to those qualities and really elaborate on them and bring examples. If you go into your interview with confidence and really being able to speak to your qualities, I can assure you, you have a much higher chance of getting hired rather than someone who has absolutely no confidence, no personality, and they just kind of slide their resume with a million bullet points across the table and they aren't able to speak to any of those qualities. You're going to be a lot better off going into the interview than they are. And I'm going to make more videos on portfolios and interviews and all of that stuff, but today I just wanted to talk about how you can really get any sort of marketing or communications job or internship with very little to no experience. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed, because there are going to be so many more career-based videos coming very soon. This is just scratching the surface, so subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and if you're like me and you're in your 20s, you might also like my podcast, Atypical 20s, so I will leave it linked down below. Also, side note, if you ever have any sort of career questions or anything like that, I always answer my DMs on Instagram, so make sure you go check that out and literally DM me any sort of questions that you have, or you can comment them down below because I reply to every single comment. So if you ever have questions or things you just are curious about, let me know and I will do my best to help you out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys!